The council chamber hung heavy with silence, broken only by the steady hiss of atmosphere regulators. Vaulted ceilings of molten gold alloy caught the dim light from twin suns beyond the thick blast shields. Massive banners, trophies of conquest, draped the walls, once proud civilizations now dust and myth. Supreme General Vaktar stood before the warlords of the Gorgoth Dominion, his scaled hands folded over his armored chest. His eyes, cold and unforgiving, swept the assembly as he delivered his report. Humanity refuses the tribute. His voice, a low rumble, cut through the room like a blade. They send back empty defiance where obedience was demanded. A ripple of contempt echoed among the warlords. Few had bothered with humans until now. A young species, untested, unproven. Vaktar's jaws clenched. The council has decreed, we will demonstrate the futility of their rebellion. We will crush them as we have all others. He paused, scanning their faces, etched with years of war, hardened by countless victories. They will learn submission. On the bridge of the TNS Resolute, orbiting Mars in silent vigil, Captain Elias Rourke stood motionless beneath the pale blue glow of holographic star maps. The war room's quiet was shattered by the flicker of a direct incoming transmission. Captain Rourke? Lin Wei's voice came sharp behind him. From Dominion Command. Vaktar himself. The main screen bloomed with the jagged silhouette of the general's massive form. His voice came in harsh clicks and guttural tones translated instantly. You will not survive a war with the Dominion. Rourke's lips curled into a faint, almost amused smile. His reply was deliberate, measured. Then I suppose we'll have to survive something else. Silence filled the room before the connection severed. Lin Wei glanced at him, skepticism flickering behind her eyes. Cheerful as always, Captain? Rourke turned, eyes steady. Better to smile before the storm than cry after it. Later, in the command briefing room, the stark reality of the situation settled on the gathered officers. Star charts scrolled behind the Admiral's podium, dotted with fleet markers, human and alien. Gorgoth forces outnumber us nearly 13-1, Admiral Singh stated flatly. Their ships are larger, better armored, and their weapons are designed for annihilation. The room hummed with quiet anxiety. Commander Lin Wei raised a hand. We know they're arrogant. But they've never faced humans in battle. We'll use what they don't expect. Singh nodded reluctantly. Political divisions hamper our response. The Terran Union Council debates tribute payments even as fleets gather. We've been ordered to delay, to avoid outright conflict. Rourke leaned forward. Delaying is one thing. Losing is another. We fight on our terms, or not at all. His words stirred something in the room, a flicker of defiance in the face of near-certain doom. In the privacy of his quarters, Rourke unrolled star charts and military schematics. The faint hum of the station filtered through the porthole, stars twinkling coldly in the void. Lin Wei joined him, arms crossed. You've got a plan, don't you? He smiled without looking up. If this is a war, then it will be unlike any they've fought. We won't match their firepower. We'll make them bleed in ways they never imagined. She shook her head. They don't fight like us. That's exactly why we'll win. He paused, eyes darkening. The Gorgoth break planets with their fleets. We break their will. Back on the Gorgoth flagship Bloodfang, Vaktar stood before a holographic display, swirling images of the human fleet and colonies. They hide behind rocks and ice, but they will not hide long, he told his captains. Their primitive tactics cannot save them. One captain scoffed. They're clever, but no match for Dominion discipline. Vaktar's gaze hardened. Underestimate humanity at your own peril. They fight dirty, unpredictable. But they will fall. Political tensions simmered on Earth. The Terran Union Council debated bitterly. Pay the tribute, one delegate urged. It's survival. Another shot back. Surrender only invites more demands. This is our moment to stand. Rourke watched the transmission feed silently. He knew the Council's fears, but humanity had never bowed. Prepare every fleet, he ordered his officers. If they come, we make them regret it. The outer colonies sent fragmented signals, supply convoys delayed, mining stations evacuated. The Dominion fleet amassed at the boundary of the outer reaches, like vultures circling prey. Rourke's tactical officers plotted the enemy's approach, the screen alive with thousands of moving dots. He looked up. They believe they're coming for a war. His smile was slow, dangerous. We're going to give them something else entirely. The TNS Resolute powered down non-essential systems, dropping out of standard comm frequencies. Ghost ships vanished from the Dominion's scanners, leaving only echoes of their presence. The war had begun. But the real battle was yet to start. The vast Dominion fleet swept into the outer solar system with the confidence of a predator that had never missed. Thousands of warships, their jagged hulls gleaming like shards of obsidian, loomed against a backdrop of distant stars. The Gorgoth officers anticipated a swift engagement, an easy victory over the seemingly timid humans who had refused their demands. But the silence that greeted them was unexpected. Orbital defense stations around Mars, Jupiter, and the asteroid belt lay dormant. Communication arrays were eerily quiet, their lights extinguished. Sensors reported no active human fleet nearby. Vakhtar's second-in-command, a wiry captain named Keshvar, chuckled. They hide like rats. Cowards! Shall we hunt them down? Vakhtar's eyes narrowed, unamused. Patience, Captain. Their retreat is a gambit. We will walk into their trap. Far from the Gorgotha's massive fleet, a small corvette sliced through the asteroid belt like a phantom. The TNS Wraith was barely more than a shadow on enemy sensors, a speck of light darting between space rocks and debris. Lieutenant Kara Jensen gripped the controls, her voice steady in the cramped cockpit. Targets locked. 2 fuel haulers lightly guarded. Approaching at Vector 670. Engage, came the terse order from Commander Rourke via encrypted channel. The Wraith's mass drivers roared, sending bursts of molten metal streaking through space. The first hauler exploded in a blossom of fire and shrapnel. The second tried to maneuver, but was crippled by a second volley. Targets destroyed. Evading. Jensen twisted the controls sharply, weaving through asteroid clusters as enemy fighters scrambled to intercept. The Wraith disappeared, leaving chaos behind. On the Dominion flagship Bloodfawn, Vakhtar slammed a clawed fist against the command console. Impossible! How do they strike so swiftly? Our sensors cannot pin them down. His tactical officer, a younger, more cautious Gorgoth named Levesque, suggested. They use unpredictable jump patterns and micro-warp bursts. Our systems are calibrated for conventional maneuvers. They exploit the asteroid field's hazards. Vakhtar's lips curled into a snarl. Adapt our sensors. Hunt every human vessel, no matter the cost. Back aboard the Resolute, the tension in the command room was palpable. Lin Wei paced slowly, brow furrowed. We can't sustain hit and run forever. They'll find a way to cut us off. Rourke studied the tactical displays, dots moving in erratic patterns, human ships striking supply convoys and disappearing into the void. We're not trying to hold territory. We're bleeding them, fuel, supplies, morale. The Dominion's strength is their numbers and logistics. We attack their lifelines. He tapped a control, bringing up the asteroid field near the outer colonies. Operation Glass Hammer starts now. Weeks earlier, human engineers had covertly positioned a 300-kilometer-wide asteroid along a collision course with a Dominion forward staging area near the belt. Now, tugs with minimal signatures nudged the massive rock toward its target. Lin Wei's voice came over comms. Asteroid on final approach. Calculated impact within hours. The Dominion warlords aboard Bloodfawn remained unaware. The asteroid slammed into the enemy staging ground with the force of a small moon. Seismic shockwaves shattered dockyards, annihilated fuel reserves, and sent ships tumbling helplessly into space. Thousands of Gorgoth soldiers died without firing a single shot. The ripple effect was immediate. Fleet supply lines are disrupted, Rourke reported. Enemy operational tempos slowed. Lin Wei nodded grimly. Psychological impact will be severe. They expect direct confrontation, not devastation from nowhere. Meanwhile, on Bloodfang's command deck, unease spread among the officers. Vaktar, Levesque said quietly, this species does not fight like others. They strike where it hurts and vanish before we respond. Vaktar's eyes burned with frustration. Their tactics are savage and unpredictable. They fight with the ferocity of predators. A rare note of doubt crept into his voice. We cannot afford underestimation. In a dimly lit Dominion listening post orbiting a shattered moon, human commandos moved silently. Communications arrays hummed as they planted virus devices and left recordings of whispered human voices, taunting the Gorgoth in their guttural tongue. We see you. We are not afraid. The message spread quickly, sowing confusion and fear among Dominion vassals. Reports came in of desertions and mutinies in French fleets. On the Resolute, Rourke allowed himself a rare moment of dry humor. Intercepted transmission, Linway said, activating a playback. A Gorgoth captain's voice crackled. We underestimated them. Rourke's lips twitched into a grim smile. Good, he said quietly. Let's keep it that way. The Dominion fleet's advance accelerated, impatience replacing caution. The once methodical hunters now pushed deeper into human space, eager to end what they had assumed would be a brief campaign. But as they crossed into the outer colonies, the sense of unease grew. Human ships struck from shadows, supply lines burned, and nowhere felt safe. The war was no longer about overwhelming firepower. It was a test of will and cunning. In the strategy room aboard the Resolute, Rourke and Linway stared at the growing map of Dominion losses. Every day they lose more, Linway said. But their fleets keep coming. Rourke's eyes gleamed. Because they believe they will win. He tapped the screen, pointing to scattered wrecks. We don't have to beat them all. Just enough to make them question the cost. Linway smiled. Psychological warfare. Human style. The human edge was clear. Where the Dominion relied on brute force and rigid command, humanity employed unpredictability, guerrilla tactics, and psychological pressure. The next phase of the conflict was coming, one that would force the Dominion to confront a truth they had long refused to accept. Humanity fought not because they must survive, but because they would not surrender. The Dominion's fleets moved like a dark tide, 3 massive armadas converging on Earth's inner defenses. Their approach was swift, decisive, a declaration that this would be the final assault. In Earth's orbital command station, alarms blared. Civilians fled into hardened habitats. Evacuation shuttles packed with the desperate spiraled toward safe zones beyond the chaos. Captain Elias Rourke stood on the Resolute's bridge, eyes steady on the starfield ahead. Around him, the Terran defense fleet prepared for the fight of their lives. Status report, Rourke commanded. Dominion fleets at approach vectors Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, Linway answered. They bypassed outer defenses, heading straight for Earth. Rourke nodded, voice calm. Good. They've walked into the trap. Hidden among the swirling storms of Jupiter's magnetosphere, human engineers had constructed a secret arsenal, experimental electromagnetic pulse lances, mass driver batteries concealed within rocky moons, and swarms of AI-driven drones armed with fusion warheads. The Dominion's advance unknowingly led them into a kill zone designed to exploit their reliance on fleet cohesion and energy shields. Activate the EMP lances, Rourke ordered. A hum filled the void as the weapons powered up. Invisible waves surged through space, scrambling enemy shield harmonics and disabling control arrays. Dominion ships shuddered. Their shields flickered, pulses lagged, and formations wavered. The first wave of human kamikaze drones struck like a thunderclap. Swarms of sleek, darting craft unleashed fusion warheads on vulnerable cruisers, igniting explosions that tore gaping holes in the enemy's lines. The Blood Fawn is heavily damaged, a tactical officer reported. Shields failing. Structural integrity compromised. Vaktar's growl echoed through the command deck. Hold formation. Do not break ranks. But the damage was mounting. Systems across his fleet began to fail. On the Resolute, Rourke watched the carnage unfold with grim satisfaction. Every sacrifice buys us time, he said quietly to Linway. She met his gaze, steady and resolute. We'll make them regret underestimating humanity. Back on Blood Farm, dissent simmered. You should order a retreat, Levesque urged. We are losing ships faster than we can replace them. Vakhtar's voice was cold steel. Retreat is defeat. The Council expects victory. His pride warred with the growing evidence of failure. In the heat of battle, Rourke opened a direct channel to the enemy flagship. Static crackled before Vakhtar's formidable face appeared. You said we would not survive a war with the Dominion, Rourke said evenly. Vakhtar's jaw tightened. I was mistaken. No, Rourke replied. You were right. This is not a war. This is what comes after. As the battle intensified, Jupiter's magnetosphere unleashed natural storms, amplified by human technology into devastating weapons. Energy cascaded across Dominion hulls, frying circuits and disabling weapons. From concealed mass driver batteries on moons, railgun projectiles tore into enemy vessels. The Blood Farm faltered, crippled and vulnerable. Rourke ordered it spared, not destruction, but a message. Humiliated and battered, Vakhtar finally conceded. Order the fleet to withdraw, he commanded. A heavy silence fell over his bridge as ships powered down weapons and initiated retreat sequences. This species will be the death of us all, he muttered. The Terran fleet held position as Dominion ships vanished into warp. Lin Wei exhaled deeply. They'll be back, she said. Rourke's expression hardened. We'll be ready. In the quiet after the storm, Earth's blue glow bathed the Resolute. Rourke stood at the viewport, the weight of command heavy but unbowed. Humanity had survived the Dominion's wrath, not through sheer firepower, but through cunning, resilience, and an unyielding spirit. The galaxy had learned a new truth: humans do not surrender. They adapt. They endure. They fight back.